Good morning.
Morning, right.
Hello. So, hi. Hi, how are you?
Oh, great.
Good.
We're here. I'll just give you Christchurch weather update while people sort of connect in.
Yes.
Yesterday was horrendous because it got to 30 degrees. Today's 20 and tomorrow's back up to 28, 30. Yep.
It got to 30
hot.
degrees?
It got hotter later in the afternoon. My God, it got hotter in the afternoon. And can I just share, we had a Christmas party, dinner, during the week, and Christchurch came through with only a high of like 18, so I was able to wear my goose after it, and everybody did a double take at work. But and then when I went into work the next day with sort of regular work clothes, they all went, "Oh, what happened to Mrs. Claus?" Because I was complete.
Sophie hood?
Yes, but it was.
You should have worn it with it.
I
that
know.
would have been a real Mrs. Claus situation. You would have looked like the dancers from White Christmas.
Oh, and I'm on trend because the Pantone colour for next year is called something like Cloud Whisperer or something like that, and it's like white.
Okay.
And I thought, I'm leading the pack yet again because my Sophie hood is in the correct colour for next winter.
Well,
I've gone to such an awful lot of effort.
As always, I will ignore whatever some random. I'm not sure where Pantone is. I always just assume Switzerland because they seem very judgy. No.
Anyway, we're here. So
we're here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Right. Now I'll start because I'm just skiting. This is the Keep It Simple cardigan. That was my Flocktober project, and my God, am I thrilled to bits with it. So it's knitted in Issachar tweed, knitted in, and then you go back later and sew down on 3mm needles.
Your first ever cardigan?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Did I know that?
No, I don't think so, because I always thought, because all cardigans are knitted in the round, sort of in the round. This isn't. You do have, the sleeves are knitted flat, but I'm sure those clever of you who knit in the round can do that. And so there's a seam here and that's it. The button band is incorporated in as you're knitting, so you don't have to do that. And it was on 3mm needles. Scary, but I survived because I just loved the project. And as a sidebar to that, last Christmas I've got friends that like to give me something for knitting, and so I'm always sort of looking for something, and I thought, 3mm needles, Christine's never going to buy those because she's never going to use them, but it'd be handy to have, you never know. So they gave me the 3mm mindful knit to the next stripe, get the next stripe. So when there was not quite a beginner knitter came into the shop last weekend, and she was looking at something plain and garter stitch. And it was a toss-up between that and another pattern with stripes. Mm-hmm. Go with the stripes.
Always go with the stripes.
Garter stitch, you're going to go.
Make everything.
You're going to go mental after you've done the back, and well, not quite, but you know what I mean. If you're a beginner, it's just a slog.
Yeah, I guess. That's
whereas
true.
with stripes,
it makes you feel like you've got something done.
You're always thinking, I'll just go to the next stripe. I'll just go to the next stripe. So,
I'm sitting here having just knit a gigantic pile of stockinette upon stockinette. No.
Yeah, for a bit of relief.
I've done all garter stitch garments. I made a cardigan, and I've made and I've done one mostly garter stitch garment, that windy top,
right,
which is actually quite comfortable, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then I've made, and I enjoyed it when I first made it. I made it quite fitted. I made a woolen honey by Andrea Mowry.
Yeah.
In the round, which is also garter stitch, but it was in the round, and it has a very visible seam up the back.
Oh.
Even because of how the join in the round works in garter stitch. Mm-hmm. I think if you are somebody who wanted to make it, I would actually advise changing it completely and making all the pieces flat, and then knitting the yoke in the round at the end, joining it in the round and then seaming the pieces together.
Right. But, yeah.
I also know people who have hybridized it and started from the top down and then knit the body and sleeves flat and seamed them. Oh, okay. And that worked really well.
Right.
So there are options if you want to do it. And it does have a really cool yoke.
Yeah.
It really does. Anyway, sorry. You helped someone pick a good project.
And I think the pattern's on Ravelry, don't quote me, but it's definitely in book 3 of the Issachar book. The Keep It Simple cardigan. So it comes with the shortest sleeve. There's the pattern for the 2/3 or just past the elbow, all full length. I had to wear it when I first finished it to knit night, and I didn't have the buttons, and that was fine open, but all the styling photos for this cardigan have the button has it done up, and so it looks it looks way better done up. It does look fine open.
It looks fine open.
But it just gives you another top, and then if you want to, you can undo it. But yeah.
I think, if I'm being honest, if the button bands aren't made separately, cardigans have a tendency to flop and collapse.
Yeah.
Without the seam. One second while I just adjust my button bands. And so I think that's kind of the thing with it. They do look lovely buttoned, though.
Yeah. So anyway, thrilled to pieces. So, almost tempted to do another one. I know. I thought
A long sleeve?
A long sleeved, yes. And that would give you another, because the Ithaca tweed is 70% wool and 30% mohair.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels, I'll be honest, it feels like you're knitting with string, and you think, oh my God, I'm never going to wear this, is awful. Because people come into the shop and they go, really? Once you've blocked it, it blooms, it softens up. And so I say, excuse me, it's just something I've prepared earlier, because I've got my swatch, and they feel it and they go, oh, okay. So yeah, do not be put off. It just blooms beautifully. And you get, because it's tweed, it's got wee flecks in it, and some of them are more obvious on some of the colours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there we go.
Hi guys, there's a couple of comments about the feed. We don't have any control over the internet, so I'm sorry you found the perfect buttons.
Yes.
They have a tiny...
Into the swatch, that was all part of the swatch. And I said, I've gone to so much effort with this cardigan. I don't want people going, nice buttons. It's like, hello, look at the work I've done. So then I went to the second shop, and I was looking at all the different buttons, and I said to the woman, I just want buttons to sort of match. I don't want them to leap out. She understood completely, and then we started looking at other buttons. So travel tip for beginners. If you want your buttons to scream out, great, go for it. And it would be better if it was all one colour, and then you have the buttons as a highlight. But when you've gone to all this effort, I don't want people going, nice buttons, unless they're up close and personal.
Okay.
Anyway, that's my styling tip.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
Here endeth the lesson from Christine.
Okay, well, she hath spoken. I got a lot of knitting done during Flocktober.
Right, yep.
I finished this cardigan, which I'm wearing, which, oh God, that arm is completely off. I'm going to extend an arm in front of you.
You do.
Please hold, everyone. So I made this drop shoulder cardigan. It started off its journey in Flocktober with the plan to be just another pullover in a bigger size. And then I was like, honestly, pullovers are just not super practical to knit at the moment for me, because my body is changing quite a bit. So I'm just on a bit of a tear with cardigans, because the good news is with button band, and I'm not just skiting about it, but if you do knit your button bands separately and sew them on, I wore this to dinner on Wednesday, you can just wear it open. It just hangs very beautifully. I'll stand up, and hopefully it won't be too obnoxious. Anyway, and yes, so it's just got a lovely to wear. We've got a big selection of colors in stock at the moment. Obviously, I will be turning this into a pattern. Please, God, don't hold me to a timeline, anyone.
But it's got a beautiful shawl collar.
It does have a really lovely shawl collar.
It's gorgeous.
I like to knit a cardigan in pieces. There was a lot of confusion. I brought the button bands with me to knit night, and no one, I think, realized what I was making for quite a while. And I have talked about this already, but I have worked out a new way to make vertical buttonholes in 1x1 rib that I'm quite pleased about, which I've used on this cardigan, and they're nearly invisible.
Yeah, they're really lovely buttons.
Yeah,
button
so
holes.
it's going to be something where I have to write the pattern up a little bit later and get it ready to release, because I was not intending on this when I started the process of making it over the last month. Flocktober took a right turn. Now, before we announce the prizes, and Acadia, we should show you the colors that we do have available, which there's even more of
there
them.
there is even
by Pantone.
As well.
Pattern Bloom. I love it. I don't know. I don't want to be bullied by Pantone, that's all. I feel like every year they're like, here's another ugly color. Yeah. I do love this color, and I think it's really beautiful. This is Egret, and that's Long Pond in
Now
your
look,
hand.
this is gorgeous. You might not see it, but it's got
the Summer Sweet.
This one's got
believe this one is Summer Sweet.
And it's got little flecks of pale blue.
Yeah. It's just the way the different fibers take the dye.
If you want a solid color.
The marooned, which I've made one of the samples of the toile number 2. Yeah. There we go.
This is Ethan's
and
color.
that's cedar. Yeah. And they do look beautiful together.
Yeah, they do. Look at this fabulous color.
Yeah, carnation.
And what was the other one? This one.
That is sea lavender.
Yeah, this is like sort of colour. Yeah.
I love it.
So they're gorgeous. Now,
yeah, they are super beautiful and fun.
Just to tell you, it is 60% wool, 20% alpaca, and 20% silk. So that's where you get the gorgeous drape.
The beautiful drape comes from the silk and the alpaca playing nicely together. So I keep leaning the wrong way off camera.
Yeah.
It's meant to be shrugged up like this, the way that it's worn, so that the collar is resting on the top of the back of your neck.
Right.
And then it just really hangs quite beautifully.
Yeah.
And it's so comfortable to wear. That's the problem with Acadia. I didn't wear this while driving today on purpose. The problem with knitting samples in Acadia is you wear them and like it's just so comfortable to throw on and the colors all suit each other and the whole like the fiber company is a bit of a trap because once you start because then it's just really easy to be like, oh, you know, maybe I need another little layering piece from the Lore range, and oh, if I had a cardigan,
and don't forget the fan favorite amble.
Yeah, and amble is just
amble's gorgeous.
Yeah, and if you just throw in like something in Luma, and before you know it, you know, you're back to the Acadia again for another cardigan, and then you're back onto the amble. It's just you know, you can just be yarn drunk with just them for quite a while. The good news is, and I really love working with Acadia. It's been a great experience. I also finished and I photographed, and this pattern will be coming out the first week of January. This cute little pullover in the merino single, which we are just placing our first opening order from Dark Omen. This colorway is Cyberpunk, and my mother has named this pullover, just as a side note, everyone. I don't think she's watching today because she's on vacation, but my mother has named this pullover, and it is called the Sweet Dreams pullover now, so you're welcome, everybody. It did not have a name. It had wavered about. I gave it a name, and then it turns out 3 days after I picked its name, someone else released something with the exact same name, and I was like, oh, okay.
Confusing. Yeah.
Yes. Well, and I think we can all agree many of my other pattern names like leave a lot to be.
The edge to whatever.
No, I've changed that one.
Oh,
I changed that quite. It's just the one skein garter triangle now.
Oh, okay.
It actually sells quite well when you put one skein in the title. It turns out,
and that's a fabulous one because there is. Again, it's almost like stripes because there is a row of yarn overs so that you get the, what I call the holes going up. And gorgeous edges, throw it together and choose one of these skeins and it's like, oh my God. You need 400 metres. You can do it in just under 400.
I'm about to introduce a version of it that makes a square as well, where you start in the middle and knit outwards.
Oh, okay.
And then
that's knitting in the round for beginners?
Because basic shawls in the basic shapes are really helpful.
Yeah, and they're great. Now, also, little travel tip for beginners, use your stash for gifts. And then you buy the good yarn for yourself.
Yeah. You've done that recently.
That's what I've done.
The other thing...
because not to go away from what the gifts are, but you've bought that yarn because you liked it, because you wouldn't have bought it otherwise. So you did love it at one stage. You no longer love it.
This is a tactic to the others. So, and...
Yes. Yeah.
There are a collection of us, yourself included now, because I poisoned the well there.
Yeah,
sorry,
you
Christine.
did. Yeah. With my kame. Yeah.
One kame to rule them all. I'm sorry, guys. There's nothing like the original yarn.
True.
Which is just... So here's the thing. I don't know about the rest of you, because I don't know about the rest of you, because you probably didn't have the same multi-year obsessive relationship with Brooklyn Tweed that yours truly did. So, my darlings, let's go back many, many moons to a pullover called Bray. Actually, I think first a hat called Bray that I made, where I twisted the cast on. I twisted the tubular cast on of both of these projects. And anyway, I made them a long time ago. They're Brooklyn Tweed patterns. They were two of the first things. Sorry guys, I really don't know why that's happening, the freezing and repeating. So,
yeah, sorry, it's all going flow here and the lines are all going straight, so it's,
any hoodles, hopefully...
Atmospheric conditions.
Yeah, maybe once it's uploaded fully,
Yeah.
it'll resolve itself. So you may want to come back and watch this again. Sorry, guys. Anyway, the good news, bad news, no news of the situation is a long time ago I started knitting Brooklyn Tweed patterns because I really love them. They're intricate and beautiful and fun. And I used to knit them in substituted yarns all the time because the yarn was not particularly available for quite a while. And then I actually think my mom bought me the first sweater quantity that I made my channel cardigan, which I still have in. And then it was kind of off to the races where I really wasn't super willing to, compromise anymore on the yarn. And I became a little, like, obsessive about it, actually. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Oh no, I don't know what this is going to do. Okay, there we go.
Right.
The stream should be working better
Better
now.
now.
It's just actually sent us a notification letting us know that it understood there was a problem and it's trying to fix it.
So it now says your stream quality is good.
There we go. So stick around. Hopefully it stays like this. To be clear, we have never had good internet in this location. There's a lot of reasons for it, none of which are very interesting. But this is also a good chance, before we move on with Brooklyn Tweed Widow story, just to remind everyone that the lives are coming to an end. Just as a side note. So next weekend is going to be the final live that I intend on doing because there's a lot of other stuff to do. And we're going to be switching to pre-recorded format. So we're going to be bringing you a best of series to wrap up 2026 and to go 2025. Oh my goodness, I said that backward. To wrap up 2025, thank goodness Christine's here, and go into 2026, okay? So why is this happening? Well, since the first day I've attempted to do a live in this building, something hasn't worked every single time. And I think at a certain point, you have to just admit that something's not working and move on. So,
as much fun as it is
it
getting
is
up
so
this
much
early,
fun.
up dressed and focused.
Yeah, so good. You know, there's nothing like trying to caffeinate and eat breakfast at 6 a.m. so you can make it for an 8 a.m. call time. Having flashback cats, also known as dancers, who are just stretching in inappropriate places. You're like, what are you doing here? They're trying to move a lighting rig. Get out of the way. Anyway. So yes, so we are moving to a pre-recorded format going forward. There will be occasional lives, catch as catch can, as they're available, most likely planned to sync up with the starts and ends of knit-alongs. So we can introduce you to the patterns and the kits and other stuff like that. But a pre-recorded format will make it richer and enable us to do more. So let's get excited.
So we won't be flying by the seat of our pants.
No, not as much. I mean, still at least a little bit, because it has to have flavor to it, right?
That's right. Spontaneity.
Well, I think the reality is pre-recorded things can get a little stuffy, and I'm making some adjustments to my vocabulary, so learning other ways to not be as stuffy is a good and positive thing for everyone, right? Now, so that's happening. Don't be surprised. They'll still come up at the same time, but pre-recorded, okay? Now, the other thing to tell all of you is Brooklyn Tweed Widows.
Yeah.
I realized that for me personally, as a human being who enjoys things, not just Brooklyn Tweed, but who enjoys, oh my God, I just stepped on it, who enjoys a lot of different things, my best method has never been trying to substitute something. I think that that's like a worthy goal, and I understand that might make you feel more comfortable, but having substituted a lot of yarns in the past for Brooklyn Tweed yarns into Brooklyn Tweed patterns, and then having gone back to knitting them in the original yarns twice now, I'm going to tell you the truth. Those are some very yarn-forward patterns. You really need the frickin' yarn to make them work, okay? Christine?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yes, yeah.
It just is what it is. So a lot of Brooklyn Tweed widows have turned around in this beautiful act of attempting to find something to replace shelter and loft. That's not possible. And I think, in a lot of ways, it's a good thing. Because my Brooklyn Tweed widow approach, Christine, has been completely different, where I've just been like, Well, fine. If I can't get my favorite thing that's ever been produced, I could sit around and be sad about it and look at my hoard of it that I don't have time to knit and consider the fact that it's gone forever and obsess about it. Or I could get really excited about all the other yarn, and I could just knit madly with all the other yarn and find new and different things to fall in love with. And instead of having, not in a bad way, like there is good nostalgia, I want to be clear. Nostalgia has gotten a really bad rap over the last few years. Nostalgia, another word, ready? I'm going to throw this one out there, tradition and ritual. And I just want you all to know that those three things are good things.
Yeah.
Forward in the qualities of Brooklyn Tweed patterns, the beautiful finishes, the thoughtful cast-ons, the ideas around making simple shapes that work beautifully, all of those things, we can carry those principles forward, and we can find new and different yarns to be excited about and develop a new language to discuss patterns and bring new things into existence.
Yeah.
Watching Christine and other people explore Issayer and myself going on a bit of an Issayer side journey that was fun. I'm glad it's over. Back to knitting my own ideas for a long, long time. And, you know, it's been great. But it's freed me up to really try some stuff that oh goodness. Oh, where's it gone? There's it's gone. That I really may have poo-pooed in the past and not wanted to use. So this is some ching fiber that I've been talking about, and I just thought it'd be a great time to remind all of you, if there's a favorite yarn of yours that's gone away, like my favorite yarn, and to be clear, the entire reason that I do this as a job, everything about this, the whole start of this was Brooklyn Tweed. So it's a big, like, difficult thing to have actually had to process. And the good news is, I think I've had a healthy response.
Right.
Which
good.
is to
try something new and different.
Try so many new and different things. And that's led us, to lots of patterns now in Acadia, which is really great. I absolutely love Acadia. I would rate this top 5 yarn that I've ever worked with. I also really love this this little piece of insanity.
Yeah, this is gorgeous. This is so soft.
Yeah, so this is Veronita, which is a brushed cashmere lace weight with silk and dashing sassy singles. I really wanted to make sure before I brought stuff like this in that it was something that I really loved. I've had great results with the dashing sassy fingering before making, I can't believe this, top down Andrea Mowry patterns. I know, just, yeah.
Right.
It worked. Don't knock it till you've tried it, I guess. Although now there is no way my arms are going anywhere near.
I know, she's famous for what I call European arms.
Let's just say I've built this garment with room to grow, which is an essential. So what's happened is I've now gone on this very playful journey with the Veronita, and I'm making a kind of compound Henley shaped pullover out of it with the Veronita and the dashing sassy held double. It's a joy to knit. It's super fluffy. It knits up really evenly even before blocking.
It's not super fluffy. It's got because this is
Sorry,
been blocked.
No,
it's got a lovely halo, but it's not.
Softness
the softness is unbelievable. This is just
so
next to skin stuff. It's gorgeous.
So inappropriate. I'm in love. So yes, good news. And we have a good selection of the Dashing Sassy in stock. Also, it turns out that I ordered, I can't believe this, the correct yarns combination for the majority of the Stephen West Ching fiber combinations. Only one of them, it turns out, the Flying Foxtail series, only one of them from it is actually done with the yak singles. The others are all made with the Dashing Sassy fingering and the oh my goodness, Melted Baby Surrey.
Right.
So for me, a huge part of my Brooklyn Tweed widow journey has been finding, frankly, some wackadoo things. So crosshatch is probably my favorite pattern to knit, if I'm being honest. Shawl has really fallen into my lap that way. Mm-hmm. I love working on it. The yarns are very fun and quite interesting. And the Dashing Sassy takes color so beautifully as a single. It's incredibly soft. It really shows off what you're doing. And it's definitely, this could not be farther from Brooklyn Tweed if I
Yeah,
tried.
that's right. This is like the other extreme.
Yeah, and I think...
Well, it's not an extreme, but, you know, in the...
No, I think this is an
Continuum.
extreme. I think Ching fiber represents an extreme of, like, you know...
Throwing it everywhere.
Well, I was going to say that a little bit about the dye style, but not in a bad way. Like, it's very fun and playful and interesting, and they work together quite well, often in very unexpected combinations that you wouldn't otherwise consider. And I really just think that going on when something happens, when you lose something, don't try to replace it.
Yeah.
As in, don't try, if it's something that's really, really good, you know. There's this wine from this one winery, oh my goodness, this one winery in Canada. It's in Nova Scotia, of all places, which makes no sense. And it's called Nova 7. And it's a pet natural, so it's a natural fermented wine.
Right.
It's incredibly light and beautiful. It tastes like the summer. Every batch is unique but the same, if you will, like a river. But I would never try to find a substitute. Like, a Gewürztraminer is just going to be sad, you know? A Moscato is just going to be like an experience. That's a very particular wine. I really love the idea, by the way, of the spongeweed and the slate together. I think that they play off each other quite nicely.
So does that. I
yeah,
love
the
this.
Kraken. Isn't that fabulous?
This is fabulous. This, I don't know whether it's going to show up, but it's like a very deep grey,
yes.
And it's got a bit of like chocolate brown in it with these hints of neon.
Yeah. I know. She's a really fun and playful dyer. Like, it's a little adventurous. That's Cave, I believe, which I just think is a really, really beautiful and interesting colorway.
Flecks of colour in it.
I do love the Harajuku.
Yeah.
And I, by the way, was knitting with the Shibuya, which we do also have in stock. Shibuya is a color of hers that I've used before, and I loved it then, and I love it now. Good news is my taste hasn't changed very much over time while it's evolved. Although I guess that's not true. He says sitting here wearing a warm green cardigan in front of all of you. This is wild, right? So yes, all of this is here. I'm knitting with the Herb and Hue right now because I'm making my brother something.
Right.
These are all great for a lot of different things. I'm definitely hoarding enough to make a pullover because I think it's going to be really fun. And I have a couple other pullovers planned in this sort of yarn, that's for certain. Oh, now, what have you got on the needles? Because we didn't even get there.
Yeah.
What have you've also finished other things?
Yes, I have now.
Oh my goodness, let's cycle back.
Gift knitting. Hopefully the friends that are getting this aren't watching, and if you are, act surprised when you open the present.
Yeah.
Right, I've finished the Stephen West Dustland
Oh, there we go.
scarf. Ran out of yarn, but I managed to do a match, which in certain lights you can see. In other lights, I think, I did really well with that.
Yes.
This, I'm knitting another one of this. Now, I have to say, if you're in Christchurch, come in. I was in here yesterday, which we're going to cover, judging the Flocktober.
Oh, yes,
and
that too.
Ayla was brilliant because I said to her, look, I knitted this in DK. Well, she didn't see this, but I said I knitted it in DK with Alpaca 1. Once it was blocked, it softened up considerably.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that did soften up considerably.
It
the alpaca
did,
one
I was
really
a bit
does
worried.
its job.
And
Yes.
so the alpaca did its job. I just had 2 balls of DK yarn, and I said, and it's wider than what the pattern says. I think it's supposed to be 17 centimetres wide. So the idea is that this is just a scarf, not a shawl. So the idea is that you just put it on, and it just snuggles under a coat or a jacket, obviously not in a 30 or 20 degree day. And so it's just snuggly for people that just want something around their neck when they're out going to work, walking the dog. And but this is about 20 centimetres wide. So that's why I think I used up the yarn. But Ayla suggested, because I said I'm going to use Alpaca 2 next time, Merlin.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Because the Merlin's got some linen in it. But, so that gives you the fleck of black, and because you're not wearing this in the middle of summer, so you are looking for sort of darker colours for winter, with the alpaca too. So that's going to be a gift knit to do. And actually I'm thinking, Christine quite likes that for herself as well. So I finished that. Fun knit, and it's a good one to have on the needles because, as I said, every line is detailed, so that if you're doing either an easy knit or a complicated one, when you go to pick this up as a breather, you know exactly where you are and what you've got to do. It's got an I-cord edge, it's got different patterns. Christine.
Oh my God, where did
Christine
you go?
mucked up one of the things, but it just looks part of the pattern now.
Yeah, you can't tell.
You can't tell. You know, when there's obviously, so there's moss stitch, broken rib, all the rest of the drama. Did that. Now the other one I did, and I'm not spoiling anything because it's all out on the internet,
Here we go.
is Hohi Locatelli's One Love Mystery Knit Along, and it was a one skein shawl in a crescent. Oh, there, that's it.
Lovely.
It's a crescent shape,
Yeah.
and it's easy knit. Oh my
There
God.
we go.
Once you've worked out the pattern, so the pattern repeats. Some people commented that they were disappointed, but this was a clue a week, and you easily did a clue a week. So, and you could keep up with it. And the first 2 clues you had done in like a day because you were starting at the top, and it's got a nice edge. And so I've now started another one as a gift knit in stash. And I don't know what possessed me to buy this colour because it's
What
definitely.
did possess
I
you
know
to buy
because it's not a Christine colour, but it's a friend's colour. So you get the patterning in it. So that's Hohi Locatelli's, and that only takes one skein.
One skein.
Anywhere between 360 and 400. You'll all laugh because I was at Knit Night doing that, and I had 19 metres left, and I was like, I still was supposed to do another 2 rows, and they're all going, no, don't, Christine, because I still had to cast off. And one of the options for cast off is a picot edge, and I was really keen, and they're all going, no, don't do it, Christine. And some people were encouraging and others weren't. And so I went home and I cast off. So I had 19 metres and I was left with 5 metres left. So I was like, oh my God, just as well I didn't do another row because I would have had to have ripped back. So I've done that. So I'm doing that. So that's going to be off the needles. My next fun, so then we get into yarn that Christine likes.
Oh my God.
So,
and
oh yeah, God, I have got the labels. I'm doing another double take tee because I love the double take tee for
off and away again.
It's
Paimon is the purple.
Paimon. Oh right.
Paimon.
The things fell out, and the other one is
Q's Marsh. Q's Marsh is the variegated green. Paimon is the purple.
So
those are gonna be beautiful together.
I know. So I'm really excited because I keep looking at your one, and this one will be. It has got variations, but it's fairly solid. So the double take tee is the one that you can wear back to front or front to back. It's got the same neckline. It's 2 pieces with a 3 needle bind off on the shoulder and just a short seam. I'm going to make the shorter version again because I really like that style on me. The shorter version is, I think you're supposed to knit 10 inches. Yeah, because the pattern's in inches. God, it drives me insane. And I think I did 7.5. So yeah, just for a short one. But Mary's doing it in the Dark Omen.
Yes, she is.
And
she's actually
I was so inspired by your Dark Omen and the fact that it doesn't look like stripes. It's really interesting. I thought, that's
I
great.
love the way his yarn pools. It's very fascinating.
Yeah.
And all of it. Now, Louise is asking for a pattern recommendation for the Dashing Sassy and the chain fiber. So for just the Dashing Sassy by itself, this is a great shawl yarn. It is super, super soft. The singles do tend to have a haze, but they don't tend to pill in so much as they kind of just wear out over time. It would do great in any fingering weight pattern. My High Street pullover is a great option because it's on a 3.25 millimeter needle, has a really deep arm sky, so it fits quite comfortably. The other thing is that pullover, the fingering weight one, is coming out the first week of January, and it is definitely suitable for this pattern as well. You'll need 4 skeins to make the size 3. You may want to order a 5th for insurance in case you want to add extra length. I made a size 4 actually, and I only used 3 skeins. And it does have a little bit less positive ease than some of my other patterns because I find that fingering weight doesn't need as much positive ease because it's a lighter drapier fabric. The other thing that would be great if you are looking for an easy knit in this fingering single sort of style, you do want to be knitting flat, but something like the Rebel cardigan by Truly Myrtle would be a great choice, and you could just choose to knit the sleeves flat. It's got little garter stitch details in it. Alexa from Knit Night was wearing one, and it looked fabulous.
Yeah, it did.
So we can absolutely recommend that, and it looks great. She was wearing it in a very bold color palette. And I think this one would make a fabulous summer and winter layering fingering weight piece.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, if you live in Christchurch, you literally never know what season it's going to be.
4 seasons in one day.
Sometimes 4 seasons in 20 minutes. Like, the other day there was like wind, rain, cold, It was like, oh God, is that fog? No, just more rain in the distance. And then apparently 28 degrees. I have to admit as well, everyone, I did not notice that it got to 28 degrees. I was outside, and it was just like, oh, this is quite pleasant. Anyway,
Yeah.
so Kraken and Spun Tweed would both make fabulous versions of a lot of things.
Yes.
A lot of it would. And if you wanted to use the Fluffy by itself, it is essentially a sport weight yarn.
Oh, okay.
So
Right.
it would knit up really well on a 3.75 millimeter needle. So anything in that sort of pattern range would be great for it held single. I think you could comfortably push this onto a 4 millimeter needle, given how fluffy it is. So if you wanted to make like a simple DK slip over or something to try it out, that would be a great idea. And if you want to, there are lots of great brioche patterns by Stephen West where you hold the fluffy yarn with the smooth yarn to do the brioche. So I would say he has quite a few. Brioche Shoreline is quite beautiful and really easy to work compared to some of the others. Full disclosure, I did edit the pattern, so I do think it's quite good actually. Anyway, yes. So yeah, that would be my review for those. Now,
we might as well
Flocktober.
did Flocktober. Right, so it was really great, the reading through people's submissions. There was quite a few of them, so Ayla and I we did it in 2 batches and then sort of had a final decision time. And what came through very strongly was that people, well, they didn't say they appreciated, but we could see that they appreciated that there was a set time they were going to try and achieve a garment or an accessory in that time, and it made them think about knitting something either every day or setting aside time just for themselves just to knit it, or to try something that they hadn't knitted before and wanted to sort of give it a go. So that was great. So I think
that was my goal
that
this
was
year,
the
so I'm
goal.
really grateful for that.
There were the 6 designers that you had to choose, so unfortunately there were a couple of entries that had to be voided, but it was any yarn, and so people used an amazing array of yarn. So, not keeping you in suspense, there were 3 categories. There was garment, shawl, and what we called other, so it could have been anything, and so there were a few things under that, other. So, not in any particular order, but we'll leave it to the winner, was the other category was won by Charmaine Stone.
Yes. Excellent.
And then the shawl category was won by Guy.
Reichenbach.
Thank you. Sorry, Guy, but you know. And they both had
I de-Germanized
brilliant little stories. We're not going to share the stories because some of the stories from people were quite personal, but it was just, we'll just say that, you know, they hit the button. And then the overall winner was Andrea McClure.
Lovely.
With an absolutely stunning cardigan that she had, it was Huia by Trudy Myrtle, and she had altered it. You'll love this. She put in a double button band.
Yes, on it. Andrea.
And
get after
it. She did some other little details on it, and it was stunning. Now the prizes. Now Charmaine and Guy, you get a skein, either skein. So whoever replies first with either, well, let's just call this yellow, it's the limey green colour, or blue, it's the hedgehog fibres sock yarn. There's 400 metres in each skein. You get first.
Perfect for a One Love. Sorry.
Yeah, One Love, or you know, the
garter tip to edge.
Garter tip to edge, you know,
I
whatever.
promise we'll find a better name for the other
Or
ones.
colour work.
Yes, colour work.
So
I guess stripes.
Would you
maybe.
get a pair of socks? I don't knit socks.
You would absolutely get a pair of socks out of one skein.
One skein. So that's,
they only last for about 4 or 5 years, just as a side note.
Right.
That
So
yarn,
that's
'cause it is
that.
quite soft.
And then Andrea,
You are getting a lace sampler from Hedgehog Fiber. Ooh.
So this is just gorgeous.
Yes. So this is
the
their
silk merino lace, and it's all in.
Oh so fine, and
Yeah.
then the 100% merino.
So
And there's enough of each of these if you hold them double to make a garment. That's why I did it. Thank
everyone
you.
for
Yes.
joining in and having a fun 2 months. I think we're all winners because we've all ended up with something, or if it's still on your needles, it will get finished.
Yeah.
And you win.
I found this year really, really quite satisfying. Thank you to everyone who participated. My goal was just to get more people knitting in total, obviously, and I feel like that was really successful.
Yeah.
I thought maybe we would wrap up by going over a teeny tiny bit of what's going to be happening next year so that you guys have a good idea of the planned festivities. We are going to be doing a mohair shawl knit along, so bring your own pattern. We're going to be recommending 2, possibly 3 options just due to some shipping delays that have become comical in proportion. And I have just decided emotionally to move on. So we're going to tack to the left. There's a sailing reference for you. Well, I guess it would be tacked to, what is it? Starboard and port. Tack to port. But what we're going to do here is we are going to sort this out as we go. So don't worry. And there are going to be lots of great opportunities for you to participate. And we're going to be definitely recommending the, oh goodness, actually we have a sample. I keep forgetting about this.
Oh.
Every time that I go to talk about this knit along and then I forget to pick up the sample.
And
now,
the beauty with mohair, it's light, so it's not going to weigh down. If you're lucky to get in some place where you're going to get constant temperatures over 25 degrees, I don't even know what that means, it'll be light enough that you can just pick up and do a few rows or whatever. And for the rest of us, it's light and portable. That you can take.
Light and portable. Now you do need 8 colors, and it is marled. It is like a...
Bring the piece of paper.
No, I didn't. I think it's like poured by Andrea. I'm so sorry, everyone. But it takes 1 skein of fingering weight and 1 skein of silk mohair and a hand dyed. And this one takes 8 colors, 2 balls each. And you hold it double throughout and marl it, or you can stripe it. We have lots of colors actually in stock. It may not appear that way, but we have lots of colors in stock that make a beautiful version of this right now if you want to build your own kit to participate.
Yeah. And it's lovely and light.
Yes, this is the Awesomer
really
Gossamer by Stephen West. And then we also have on the way another order from Vilgalana with other great colors. And I'm going to be casting on to knit one of these before the knit along, probably. Sorry, guys. Or I might cast it on at the same time as the rest of you. And I'll be casting on January 1st. So January 1st, New Zealand Standard Time. So join me here for a live cast on. I will be in North America while I do this. And that'll be one of the few lives coming into the next year. So we're kicking off with a nice light mohair shawl knit along. It looks like a lot of knitting, but it's almost all stockinette back and forth with some dip stitches, and it's striped, so it's gonna go quick.
So you know.
So we're gonna aim to wrap this up in 6 weeks. So we're gonna go from the beginning of January till the delightful Valentine's Day. So we're going to try to wrap this up a little bit quick, but don't worry if you have a little bit of extra sliding along, because we are going to be coming then into the knit along that Christine consistently forgets that she came up with, the knit fast, dye warm knit along. So knit fast, dye warm, we want to separate from the other knit along in the year Flocktober by making it clear that our goal here is to get you to knit a garment inside of a 2-month time frame that you can wear that has sleeves, most likely, okay? Now, this year's theme that is coming out for this particular knit along, because they're now going to be themed. So it's going to run from March 1st every year until May 4th, which is my birthday. And this year's theme is Revenge of the Fade. Now, if you can start to figure out what I'm using as the naming device for the theme before next year, you win nothing, because if you can't work it out, then you either A, have been under a rock since 1976. Is that when the first one came out?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so you've either been under a rock since 1976 or you're blind. Anyway, so yes, so this is going to race along. You're going to wrap this up sometime February, March, and then we're going to get into the Revenge of the Fade knit along. So we're going to be doing some faded knitting. Now we are going to be pushing garments. I'm going to be talking to Christine to figure out what she's going to be making. I'm going to be making something. Everybody at Knit Night's going to be making something. I do think the rose cardigan is probably going to play a hefty role in most people's planning. It is a beautiful faded garment that is totally worth knitting. I might be knitting one again.
Right.
Andrea Mowry may actually come out ahead in this whole fade along situation, because I'm also going to recommend for our top down knitting friends her So Faded pullover, which I have made before and is really great. She also has a DK weight pattern that I'm going to tell you how you can knit it with yarn held double instead.
Oh, okay.
Called the Comfort Fade Cardigan. And last and certainly not least, depending on timelines and other things, we may also have some availability for the Fox Thoughts pullover, which is a fade.
Yeah, well, I've already been looking at patterns, and I'm stretching the definition of fade.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can't faded pullover pattern in collaboration with Dark Omen Yarns called Descent. So
Ooh.
get excited for that. So that's going to run, and then we're going to have a nice long knit along break on purpose. I'm going to tell you that most likely Wednesday night is going to have some spontaneous knit night action that will turn into some sort of knit along, and if I catch wind of it, I will make sure to share it with all of you. Now, finally, we are going to be going back to theme. Right. A super fun theme that I'm going to tell you right now, which is Roman holiday. Yeah. So if you, like me, appreciate good things, then you know what I'm referencing. And if you don't, go watch it, because it will never, ever not be good. And I thought, what a great way to pick a theme so that we're not tied to specific designers or specific yarns. The idea is to knit something that you would wear for lunch on a Roman holiday at a garden party. Because we're going to keep that garden party theme rolling for Flocktober going forward, but this year's theme is Roman holiday. Yeah. So I'm going to make, personally, a kind of Ferragamo style lace mesh golf shirt polo situation. Right. And I'm going to be releasing that pattern as part of my resort collection for the Roman holiday knit along. And we're going to be encouraging lots of great t-shirt patterns, and leading up into it, things like the double take tee and other fast favorites here are going to come out, because sleevelessness makes everything faster. That's right. You're looking at one of the other great options. Wouldn't the Keep It Simple make a fabulous t-shirt to wear for a garden party? And it's sort of like, we're not saying completely sleeveless, you know, drop shoulder, what little t-shirt, bit, but we're just trying to, so you don't get sleeve island. Yes. So we will have lots of great options and lots of great yarns and many other things to do for you then. So do not worry. We have a lot of new things rolling out over the next several months. Bear with us. Growing pains as we grow are a little difficult. So don't be surprised if there are a couple of hiccups here or there, but they are all just a part of the process. Just as a little bit of a side note, if you need anything from the shop going forward, please make sure that you're emailing help@getflocked.co.nz, because that is the monitored inbox. As another side note, I never know what's going on around here on purpose. It's better for everyone that way. Trust me, I have an employee looking at me right now who's like, oh yes, and our phone is having an issue that we are going to be working to resolve in the next week or so. So if you've been trying to call us, please know that we are just having a bit of a an issue, okay? Yeah, landlines don't exist anymore, and it's just a weird thing. Just email. Just email us, please. But we are trying to get a phone back connected as quickly as possible. Yes. And then come in here for your Christmas shopping. Yes, please do. Come in and have a look, or have some pieces. A great candle selection from Lucy King, where her stock is here. We have some beautiful Filcolana hand creams. We have lots of great kits and other things for crafters of all sorts. And accessories. Oh my God, accessories. Accessories galore, including various redesigned project bags that no one is ever sad to receive as a gift. Right. This particular one has definitely been much the topic of debate at Knit Night. Not if someone's going to purchase it, but when people are going to start purchasing them. So good luck to all of you who don't get in for them. We do also have great little gifts from Petite Knits for that person who is really obsessed in your life with them. And we have lots of great printed patterns and yarns and other things. Yes. Unfortunately, we've only got book one. Now, don't go, oh, I don't need another knitting book. You do. Because these are not like these are gorgeous books. Because she starts off at the front with why she designed this particular series, and it's really interesting. And you'll notice that the inspiration garment for the pattern that you're so curious for is actually in this it is. Book. I just saw that this morning. Yeah, it's because it's been a few months since I've looked through this book. Yes, I know. Issachar is releasing, they got a whole lot of designers together, took them away for a weekend and brought all their old archive patterns and said, we want you to recreate something, take something from one of these. So even Petite Knits, the woman from Petite Knits went along and a few others, and they're releasing a pattern every Friday and Wednesday or something, and the one that keeps getting sneak peeks on Instagram for me is not coming out till the 19th of December, it's the last one. But it's sort of following along in this pattern. I can't wait. So it's called the Archives 2. So the patterns are available on the designer's website, and the yarn as well can be in store here, or it's on the Issachar website. But these books are just lovely, and they are make a fabulous gift. They do. So I have all three of them. Yeah. Mine live here at the shop though. Yeah. Oh, all right, friends. Well, that is everything
Yep.
for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you are watching, if you have not clicked the notification bell and the subscribe button, you will. You've caught us just at the end. Just so that all of you know, if you have not clicked, and I know that this is not how it was before. Apparently, they've been making this switch for several years, and it is now just a hard switch. So you have to make sure you've got that notification bell clicked, and also I need to figure out where it is on the screen for the future, and also the subscription button clicked. And please do give me the gift of guilting everybody else into subscribing to this for Christmas. If you're looking for a cheap, easy thing to do for Ethan to make him happy this year, please get me 100 more subscribers.
Click and subscribe.
Yes,
and
please.
Also subscribe to the newsletter that comes out. So just
Yes.
flick it. You can go onto the website and click that you want to subscribe to the newsletter. And that
Just as a
goes
side
out.
note as well, our newsletter is changing format. If you got the newsletter this week, this is the new newsletter format, which
Yeah, it was
Christine got
great.
it this week.
Yep.
Okay, great. So we are switching to a Knitspiration format.
Yeah.
So we're going to be sending out now a fortnightly newsletter from here based around projects that we've seen recently in person that have really inspired us to cast on. This week we featured the intrepid Mary,
She's
who has
fabulous.
just
She
been...
finds amazing
She
patterns.
really does, and she has great taste, and she's done so much with Filcolana for all of us.
And the patterns on Filcolana are free. Okay, people, free.
Yes, absolutely free.
So she's a great one for finding that. And just before
Just
we go,
fine.
Tim, before we get cut off, come past the shop and have a look at the Christmas tree in
Yes.
the window and have a look at the star on the top. It's amazing.
Ayla has done. If you are not watching Christmas movies yet and you're not subscribed to the Flock Online, then you don't know that I just did a great review for the Flock Online of one of my favorite. Come to watch Gremlins, one of my favorite Christmas films. And I hope all of you get ready this Advent season for a wonderful Christmas coming up. And we will be back live next weekend and then not for a little while. Have a wonderful time.
Okay,
We'll talk to you
bye.
later. Bye.